Hello, my name is KinleyLhaden and thank you for joining me today. This presentation focuses on my strategic brand positioning analysis of Puma, one of the most dynamic and culturally relevant brands in the global sportswear landscape. Over the next 20 minutes, I'll walk you through a comprehensive evaluation of Puma's brand using Kevin Calver's strategic brand management framework. This includes analysis of its competitive frame of reference, points of parity, points of difference, brand equity perception, and finally a set of tailored strategic recommendations for its future growth. The insights presented here are drawn from both extensive secondary research and primary data collected from a small qualitative study involving 5 individuals. Let's consider the foundational framework for this analysis. Kevin Lane Keller's brand positioning model, outlined in both his strategic brand management textbook and his Harvard Business Review article titled 3 Questions You Need to Ask About Your Brand, asks companies to define 3 core elements: who the target consumer is, what the competitive frame of reference looks like, and what differentiates the brand. My goal here is to apply this framework to Puma in the context of its 2 major rivals, Nike and Adidas. I'll compare them across key dimensions such as innovation, emotional appeal, sustainability design, and digital presence. This project also involves a mini brand perception survey I conducted with 5 participants who provided feedback on brand associations, emotional engagement, and perceptions of Puma in comparison to the competitors. This adds a qualitative dimension to the analysis, allowing us to see how Puma is viewed from the perspective of real-world consumers and not just corporate messaging. Puma is positioned within the global sportswear and athleisure industry, a sector valued at over $400 billion globally and is expected to keep growing, especially among the younger consumers who seek both performance and lifestyle appeal in their fashion choices. This space is heavily dominated by brands like Nike and Adidas, who have extensive market shares, budgets, and influence. What makes Puma's position unique is its hybrid identity. It isn't just a performance brand like Nike, nor it is as deeply rooted in sustainable innovation like Adidas. Instead, Puma sits at the intersection of both function and fashion, which resonates particularly well with Gen Z and the young millennials. These consumers value authenticity, cultural relevance, and affordability. Puma delivers on these expectations by leaning into collaborations, street culture, and bold design language. While Nike positions itself as a leader in innovation and pushing human limits, Adidas focuses on eco-conscious performance. Puma's frame of reference is broader. It embraces an inclusive, fashion-forward, and trend-aware ethos. This frame allows Puma to compete beyond traditional athletic performance and appeal to lifestyle segments such as music, motorsports, and casual streetwears. Despite the unique positioning, Puma must meet basic industry expectations to remain credible. These are the brand's point of parity, or the areas where it must be similar to competitors in order to stay relevant. The first point is product innovation. Puma may not lead in performance tech, but it has invested in proprietary innovations like nitrofoam for running shoes and ultra-weave materials in its apparel. These technologies ensure Puma can claim a spot in technical performance conversations. The second one is athlete endorsement. This is a non-negotiable in the sportswear industry. Puma has secured global icons such as Neymar Jr. and historically Usain Bolt. These associations helps Puma retain legitimacy in its elite sports. The third one is sustainability. The Forever Better initiative includes commitments to renewable materials, transparency in supply chains, and reducing carbon emissions. While Nike and Adidas have more established reputations in this area, Puma's efforts meet the baseline expectations of today's conscious consumers. These POPs act like the foundation of a building. They don't necessarily differentiate Puma, but they are essential for consumers to even consider the brand within the same category. Where Puma truly shines is in its points of difference. These are the attributes that set the brand apart and offer compelling reasons to choose it over a competitor. First one is celebrity and fashion collaborations. Puma's partnership with artists like Rihanna and Dua Lipa and with the fashion houses like AMI Paris blur the line between sportswear and high fashion. These collaborations go beyond typical endorsements. They create entire capsule collections and brand stories that appeal to fashion-conscious consumers. The second one is motorsports. While most competitors focus on basketball, running, or football, Puma has cultivated a powerful presence in motorsports. Collaborations with Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull Racing give this brand access to a loyal and passionate fan base, while also showcasing performance credentials in a unique way. Third one is inclusivity and affordability. Puma is one of the few major brands actively promoting gender-neutral collections. It also maintains more affordable price points without compromising on style, which gives it broader accessibility, especially in emerging markets and among the budget-conscious youth. These points of difference are what makes Puma stand out. They offer emotional, cultural, and stylistic value, appealing to those who want to express individuality through their fashion while still aligning with sports culture. Now let's look at Puma's brand equity, the value and strength of the brand in the minds of the consumer. For this, I've designed a simple brand ranking exercise involving 5 participants aged between 21 and 30. They were asked to rank Puma, Nike, and Adidas on a series of attributes like brand innovation, emotional connection, style, design, sustainability, and price value. Puma was rated highly for its style and value for money. Participants mentioned that they found Puma's design bold and trendy and easier on the wallet compared to its competitors. However, in areas like innovation and emotional attachment, Puma ranked noticeably low. Nike in particular was perceived as more aspirational, and Adidas was seen as a forward thinker, especially on sustainability. This suggests that while Puma is respected, it hasn't yet built a strong emotional bond or positioned itself as an industry leader in innovation. Its equity is currently functional and style driven rather than deeply emotive or technologically inspiring. To enhance its brand equity and competitive position, I propose 4 strategic directions. Enhance technology storytelling. Puma's existing innovations like Nitrofoam need better communication. Instead of just technical specs, Puma can tell human stories showing how its products empower real athletes or the creators, making the technology more emotionally engaging. Emotional branding through cause alignment. Puma has the potential to partner with causes such as gender equality, mental health in sports, or the youth empowerment. These themes align with its exclusive brand personality and can create emotional resonance with socially conscious consumers. Third one is expand the motorsports segment. Limited edition drops tied to major Formula One events, behind the scenes content, and themes like Ferrari and AR filters that let fans try on race day gear online can extend Puma's motorsports DNA into everyday fashion culture. And the last one is boost digital engagement. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram are viral these days, so Puma can launch interactive campaigns with the user generated content, build a customization portal for the shoes and apparel, and even explore NFTs or digital twins for limited releases. And these tools can elevate loyalty and interactivity, particularly amongst the Gen Z. This slide is about the research methodology. The research is aimed to evaluate Puma's brand equity by focusing on consumer perceptions, specifically from a group of university students. We have adopted a quantitative approach using a structured survey to gather insights across key brand equity components like awareness, quality, associations, loyalty, and overall image. The participants were 5 of my classmates selected through convenience sampling. This helped with accessibility and kept the demographic group relatively consistent. The survey itself had 12 questions spread over 6 key sections with both Likert scale and multiple choice formats, which allowed us to collect measurable and comparable data. We used a secure online survey platform, making it easy for participants to access and complete the questionnaires at their convenience. About the survey administration and data analysis, the survey was distributed digitally through a secure platform. We even ensured that all the participants understood their involvement. It was voluntary and that their responses would be remained confidential in line with the ethical research practice. Once the responses were collected, I used thematic coding for data analysis. This helped identify the common themes and patterns across the different brand equity variables, which allowed me to draw insights about how Puma is perceived. And of course, there were some limitations, but the small sample size of just 5 participants meant that the findings aren't broadly generalized. Also, because of all the participants being my classmates, the response was biased, which could exist due to social dynamics or the shared experiences. Despite that, the study offers a valuable context-specific insight into how Puma is viewed by the demographic, and it sets the stage for further exploration or broader studies. To conclude, Puma is a brand with immense potential. It has crafted a unique space in the market, merging sport, fashion, inclusively and affordably. It competes effectively through its partnerships and style, but it lags behind in areas of innovation, perception, and emotional branding. The recommendations I have proposed are not about radically changing Puma's identity, but rather amplifying the strength it already possesses and strategically addressing its weaknesses. If Puma can humanize its innovation, build stronger emotional connections, and invest in digital culture, it can deepen customer loyalty and carve a more dominant role in global sportswear. With consumers' expectations shifting towards authenticity, experience, and personal expression, Puma has the opportunity to grow from a respected alternative to a beloved leader, especially among the next generation of consumers. And in the slides, there are the references which I have consulted for this analysis. The foundational theory was drawn from Kevin Keller's Strategic Brand Management textbook and his Harvard Business Review article. Industry trends and data were sourced from McKinsey and Company's State of Fashion reports, Business of Fashion, and Precedence Research. For the brand-specific insights, I reviewed Puma's official annual reports, sustainability disclosure, and the marketing campaign materials. Primary data was collected through a qualitative survey conducted independently, and together these sources have provided a rounded view of Puma's current and future trajectory. As I now wrap up my presentation on the brand positioning of Puma, I'd like to take a moment to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who helped me make this possible. Firstly, a big thank you to our tutor for guiding us through this project and giving us the opportunity to explore the world of branding and marketing. Your support and encouragement helped me to shape the ideas and understand how real-world companies like Puma create a strong identity in this competitive market. And I'd also like to thank my classmates and friends for being such an attentive and supportive survey participants to find out the analysis. And of course, I'd like to thank Puma as a brand, not personally, of course, but for being such an interesting and inspiring company to study. Their ability to position themselves between the sports performance and the lifestyle fashion has really taught us how brand is not just about logos and ads, but also about the identity and values. Once again, I'd like to thank all for your time and attention. Thank you.